Good morning. It's a positive start to trade in the equity markets here in India, and perhaps to a certain extent the momentum that started building towards the end of yesterday's session is carrying forward in today's session. Remember, through most of the day yesterday, you had the equity benchmarks that were trading in the red, and in fact quite a few of the sectoral indices, including the banking index, were also trading weak. But that picture changed quite dramatically at the end. And in fact, both the foreign institutions as well as the domestic institutions ended up being net buyers, perhaps on account of that late buying that took place in yesterday's session. Of course, today is also the weekly expiry, so you could see some of the volatility that you've seen in past days, or you could also have had the volatility get done in yesterday's session. As of now, you have the Nifty 50 that's gaining about 0.5%. Let's look at some of the contributors. Right on top, you have the likes of Titan that's gaining over 5% as of now. You have Kotak, HDFC that's gaining about 2%, 1%, 1.4%. Reliance is continuing the up move. In fact, towards the end of yesterday's session also, it displayed quite a bit of strength. It is gaining about 1% in today's session as well, and lending quite a bit of strength to the benchmark index. Tata Motors up and about, Shree Cements, HDFC Bank, Infosys, all of them are gaining. You have not too many losers, and even those losers are not losing terribly. The likes of Tata Steel, Bajaj Auto, Tech Mahindra losing about 0.7% and then 0.4% each. You have UPL, Cipla, JSW Steel all losing about 0.33% or so. Let's look at the sectoral breakup then and see what sectors are doing well today and what are trading a little weak. Auto, after a couple of sessions in fact of strength, is losing a little bit of ground today, down about 0.33%, and pharma is flat but just a slight bit negative. The rest of the indices are all trading in the green. The biggest performer, of course, is the Realty index, up as much as 3.5%. There have been developments, including the Model Tenancy Act, including an update with regard to the GST Council, which could have a bearing on the pricing of flats. It has to do with the input costs for co-development. That is, when a landowner gives land to a developer to develop, they've tweaked the rules so that the landowner can take input cost credit, and that could have a bearing on the prices of those properties. So that's one thing to bear in mind. The Realty pack is doing particularly well. Another factor, of course, that is having an influence on the markets is the third day in a row that India is reporting a figure of COVID-19 cases that is less than 1.5 lakh. And that is a significant development in that already we're on the 3rd of June. Towards the end of this week, you could see quite a few states easing restrictions, especially ahead of the agricultural sowing season for the Kharif crops that will start in just a week or two. And all of that is leading to the belief that you could see economic recovery very quickly. Of course, there is a caveat here. You must remember that the rural economy has been impacted significantly this time around, and outside of agriculture, in the manufacturing space, in the services space, you could see a bit of a dent in sentiment, in demand, and we'll have to see how that pans out. In terms of earnings, GIC is reporting its numbers today, but nothing else that is very significant. Of course, globally, there is a bit of a caution ahead of the jobs data tomorrow, and here in India we're watching out for the Monetary Policy Committee's decision on rates, and in fact the commentary on how the economy is poised as of now, what the impact of the second wave of the pandemic has been.